Hi, Rita Ora.
I was literally just in the toilet. They told me I had 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. I didn't even hear you even saying my name.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hi, guys. You all right?
Thanks for coming. How's Glasgow been so far?
I've only been here for like 3 hours.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of this town?
Yeah, of course. I love a Scotsman.
Excellent. So, this...
No, I mean, I love it here. Yeah, of course.
This whole week is all about inspiration. It's all about inspiring these guys right here
That's
into
true.
what can be done. So I think, as with all things like this, it would be good to take it back to the start of your story. And I guess as a singer starting out, it must seem like such a mountain to climb. How did you get started?
Okay, well, how much time do we have?
We've got loads of time.
Okay, well, basically, I went to a music theatre school called Sylvia Young, and I was incredibly, distracted by music and sounds and like artwork and pictures and clothes. And I mean, I know I had to do the whole book thing, and I was from a very traditional family who really made me study. I'm from Kosovo originally, and for any of you that don't know where that is, it's in Eastern European. It's a very small place, which not a lot of people know about. So I kind of was used to being in a very traditional household. So, kind of doing music was a bit like, that's not happening.
Like kind of like get a real job.
Yeah, it was like, that can't happen, that's not happening. My dad was like, that's not going to get you a degree, that's not going to get you. And I just was thinking to myself, yeah, you might be right. But I couldn't stop doing it. And anyway, long story short, I started to write songs for people. And I sang at a fun fair when I was 14. And there was a producer there who took his kid to the fun fair, heard me sing and said, you should come to the studio and, try write some songs and sing some songs. And I was like, yeah, right, he's just like playing me. And then he gave me a card and I said, okay, he might be serious because he gave me a card.
Oh, he's got cards, that means business.
He's got a card. So then anyway, I went to the studio, I ended up signing a deal with him, a production deal for 2 years, which was something for stupid money for like, I would say, $5,000 for 2 years or something, which is not a good deal. If anybody's getting offered deals, you should get paid more than that.
And what age were you at this point?
I was 14.
14.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was finishing school, and then when I did finish school at 16, I chose to not go to college and to carry on with my music. Not saying that that's what everybody should do, but that's what I did because I had an opportunity to sign a record deal. I would have obviously have gone to college if I wouldn't have just not gone and had nothing, Yeah. Anyway, so I carried on, and that deal fell through, and then I ended up being my mum and dad's worst nightmare of not having anything. And I didn't go to school, and I kind of was thinking, oh no, I made the biggest mistake of my life. Then I started singing at pubs and bars, and I started to kind of work in a trainer shop in size. And I was selling trainers, which is why I got obsessed with trainers. And, I would pay the guitar player every weekend, and we'd go to like anywhere that would have me. I would lie about my age, and I would do anything just for people to hear me sing. And my dad had a pub, and I would sing there. And then, honestly, it's all these little steps that I'm just saying that really make a difference. Which at the time think it's hell, you think it's awful because no one's listening to you. No one cares that you're doing a cover of, a Destiny's Child song, which is what I was doing. And it was like a moment in my life where I was honestly scared, I was like, what am I going to do?
What kept you going there? Because that's obviously a hard slog, going out to bars and people not paying you attention. What was it that kept you going?
I just had no other option. I mean, I said to my mum and dad, I'm going to do fine. Yeah. I couldn't go home and not have an answer. I was like, I couldn't do it. So thankfully, I started to write with this producer that I knew, and it honestly saved me because I didn't even know I could write a song. I was just writing poems and things like that, and, being the girl that always wanted to be in love. Anyway, so then I would go, and luckily people liked it. It got into the hands of Rock Nation for another artist, a song I wrote for another artist. And they said, who's singing that song? And they said, oh, it's this girl Rita, who's a songwriter, and she's like a singer. And Rock Nation, which is the label I'm signed to, wanted to meet me. And they then heard my demos and signed me as an artist. Mm-hmm. So that was my second deal. So I wasn't as excited because I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to be broken again. And luckily this one carried on through, so
And I
that's
imagine
the
that
short
one was a
version.
little bit bigger than the $5,000 you were offered the first
Yeah,
time.
yeah, definitely not a $5,000 deal. I was desperate.
Yeah.
No way, I had nothing. I mean, everybody knows what it feels like at one point to just feel like they have. All I can say is that it could always be worse. You know what I mean? It could always be worse. So, yeah, it was a point where I honestly couldn't take no for an answer. Yeah.
So, have we got any budding musicians, singers in the audience? Yes, yes, we certainly do. So what a role model to have right here, like Rita being here in Glasgow. Let's get straight into it. Have you got any tips for budding artists? I mean, you've already mentioned that, you know, that figure is very low for a record deal, but anything else about that really hard period where you were slogging away?
I mean, you've just got to slog away. There's no beating around it. There's no fast track. I mean, obviously we've got X Factor and we've got all those amazing TV shows, but I mean, if you want to do it, I would say properly, like the traditional way. Get ready to get kind of like ignored, people not paying that much attention, blah, 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 but you just can't let it get to you. And I mean, I was the biggest egotistical person ever. Like if somebody stepped to my ego, I would never talk to them ever again. Like I was so sensitive. And then my friends just turned me around and said, you need to just get some ball bags, wake up, and do your thing. And then that's when I thought, okay, you know what? All right. And just sing what you want to sing. You know, you just got to sing what you want to sing. And there's going to be so many opinions. No, this isn't good for the radio, or this isn't good for that song, or that doesn't really connect with you. But, you know, the only person that really knows is you. You're going to get given a lot of songs from other people. And, oh, I've written this song, you should sing it. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with singing someone else's song, but there's nothing better than making a song your own, you know? So I think it's just, it all comes from you convincing, like it's like playing poker, but like with music. You know, you're playing you to the world. So you gotta be as convincing as possible, otherwise nobody else will believe it. Yeah. You know? So
it's, I think, am I right in saying that you've quoted like Gwen Stefani and Beyonce as big inspirations for your music?
Bye, Grimmy. Definitely not. No, I'm kidding. Yes, you
Grimmy.
are an inspiration. You're an inspiration to me and to everyone in this room. Don't we love Grimmy?
Yeah.
Go on.
Thanks, Nick.
Obviously, Grimmy. Not with them Air Maxes on, though. What is this? Stroke.
You're not going to get out that door. Your head's going to be so big.
All right, bye, love you.
Yeah, so I mean, as a good example, when I started Radio 1, I went through a phase of sounding a little bit like Grimmy. Then I went through a, hey, I'm saying low phase. So, because those were people I looked up to and thought, wow, that's what I want to be like. How do you feel, how important is having an idol like Beyonce or like Gwen Stefani?
I mean, I love music and I love women, like inspirational, powerful, confident women. And I think we all should support each other as feminines, you know what I mean? And as feminists, it's an incredible opportunity for us to really boost each other's confidence, you know? And I loved Gwen for her look and her songs, and then I loved Beyonce for her voice. And I mean, all the singers in here, I mean, can understand, like, you know, when you connect with a voice with someone, you just kind of become obsessed with them and how they sing, their riffs and their harmonies and their structures, and everything just multiplies to 15,000 because that's just what you want to be. So I always went on stage thinking, you know, I want to be on that level. So I need to start believing that I deserve to be on that level. And then again, I'm sorry, but it does come from the you. And obviously you're going to get, I mean, first time I came out, I got compared to literally everybody. And even today still sometimes I do. And I honestly don't give two, because if you're not compared to somebody great, if you're not compared to somebody at all, or if you, it takes a minute for people to be familiar with you as an artist. People aren't going to get you first song round, you know. You do shows, you do tours, you do interviews, you do videos, you do whatever you need to do. All that is because people want, you need to get to know the person you're buying into, you know. So I understand the levels that we want it to be, but you can't deny you're going to form into your own regardless, you know? So.
Yeah. I think that's important, yeah, just to, believe in yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's like whatever it is that you do, like I can't tell you what 2 times 2 is. Well, no, I can. But I'm saying is like, there's people that are special in that, in their own departments, and there's things that I would never compete against, and things that I don't know about, believe me, I won't pretend like I do. But then there's things that, I do feel confident about, and, I will tell you what I know, because I do know,
Absolutely.
And it's a form of, not listening to judgments and not reading the blogs and the comments at the bottom of your pictures and Instagram comments and taking that into consideration. And, there's things that you have to remember to block out because it can distract you a lot.
Yeah.
I've learned that the hard way.
One last thing before we move on to questions from our lovely audience here.
Yes.
What do you think is important for a new performer to stand out? I mean, you mentioned believing in yourself, but is there anything, should they go for a really outlandish look, or, is there anything they should or shouldn't do?
I mean, I don't think you should do anything forced. As a new artist, there's nothing worse than somebody not believing what you're doing. If it's not you to dress up and all that, then don't do it. I mean, it is me. I love dressing up. I've always loved being in costumes and putting on wigs and makeups and kind of painting my nails all different colors and just being crazy. But if that's not you, don't do it. I wouldn't do anything if it wasn't me. And people will know that. Like, the public's smart. People think sometimes that, you just feed the public what they want and they'll just have it, but they won't. They'll spit you right back out if they don't believe you. And they won't care if that's who you really are. So I would have to just say, you have to just really be you and embrace those little bits that make you you and times them by 10. Like, I don't know, for example, your hair's dark and you're a singer and you got dark hair. Like, go load, like, be dramatic with it and embrace, I don't know, the fact that you've got an Arctic Monkeys. I mean, I love them, though. The fact that you got bromance. Romance. There's things that make everybody individual. That's what you have to just think about in your head and then say, this is what I am, so I'm going to just times this by 10, 15,000 because that's me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Have we got any, dare I ask, any questions
Yeah, please ask me questions.
Rita Ora? There's one right down the front. We'll just get a microphone over to you, if that's all right. Let's go for it.
Hello.
Which of your songs means the most to you and why?
What do my songs mean to me?
Which of your songs means the most to you and why?
Ooh. Okay, so obviously I love a party song. Obviously I love to make people dance, and I really, my first aim was, if I was to ever do an album, it's just to make people feel good. And I haven't ever changed that aim. For me, music always makes me feel good. When I'm sad, I actually don't listen to sad music. I listen to nothing.
Right.
Yeah, some people listen to ballads, some people, eat. That's what I do.
So no emo songs there, crying your eyes out? No.
Some people crying their eyes out, but honestly, I listen to music because it makes me happy and it makes me feel great. And that's my first kind of initiative when I go into the studio. Obviously, I have rubbish days like everybody else, but on this new album, it's all about that, feeling positive about something that's negative. And I'm not trying to be like, all daisies and fairies, but I mean, there's millions of artists that, you got like the amazing Sam Smith record, which is nice for when you're upset and you want to feel nice and whatever. And then, I feel like I'm missing the happy record, apart from Pharrell literally spitting happy in your face.
He just went for it.
No, but it's hard because they all mean different things. But I would have to say the newest one, just because it's my newest one, I Will Never Let You Down, which I think speaks in the title. It's more of a song saying, wherever you are in the world, loved ones, I know religions, sisters, family, whatever it is you want to say, it's a bit of hope. It's that kind of encouragement of not giving up on something. So I would say I Will Never Let You Down is probably that one for me right now.
What was the background to that song?
Well, I don't know. You Scotsmen have something. It's so weird. No, I mean, well, somebody came into my life and really helped me for the better and made me see things differently, I mean, I just opened my eyes a bit to, like, reality almost. And it changed everything. Like, it changed everything from how I would sometimes like wake up in the morning and brush my teeth before that person woke up, or like I would do girly things I would never do before. I'm like the manliest girl on the planet. And it was things that I saw in my personality that were changing, but for the better. And so I didn't want to get rid of that. And there's times where, you know, we're in different sides of the world, and you get really lonely and you feel like, oh no, I hope, you know, that person doesn't think I'm wasting my time or wasting his time. And I Will Never Let You Down is more of a symbol of saying, you know, I know we might not physically be there, but, you know, we're going to figure it out, because it could be tough. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever been through long distance relationships.
Me.
Yeah, they're pretty tough, right? And I mean, I don't wish you guys to be through one, because it's hard. But you want to make something work? You bloody make it work. So, you know, that's my forte. But that's what the song was about for me personally.
Yeah. Excellent.
I'll sing that for you guys later.
Another question, right down here. We'll wait for the microphone. There you go.
Hey.
What's your name?
Ryan Dixon.
Hi.
Hi.
What's the biggest obstacle you've had to face in your career?
Good question.
That is a good question. In my career, you mean, or in life?
Like career, like music?
Yeah. In my career, there's been times where I nearly gave up, like many times, because it sometimes makes you feel like is this really what I want to do? But it is, because you're there for a reason. And I'm here to just not give you guys lectures, but to honestly say, like, I'm 23, you know, I'm not Richard Branson, but I can tell you that even at 23, you can accomplish everything. And the hardest obstacle was probably midway through my first album. I recorded a whole album, and my record label scrapped it, the whole album. And we had to release an album in like 2 weeks. And there was no music because they scrapped the whole record. They didn't even ask me, and they said, this isn't right. And then I kind of agreed with them, and then we had 2 weeks to do a whole nother album. That was a big obstacle, because we were down for time then at that point. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, it's my first album, no one's even gonna know, it's gonna be like the most rushed record ever. Oh my God, everyone, this is the first impressions that people are gonna have of me. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just said to myself, well, whatever I put out, I better sell it. Like, make sure that it's me before it's anybody else. And that was it. But that was pretty scary, because I had no answers at that point. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But yeah.
Well, you got number one.
Yeah, yeah!
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Excellent. That was a great question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where are we going next? This gentleman down here.
Hello.
Hi there. I'm from Kosovo as well, so I just found your story really
I've never
inspiring.
met a Kosovan with a Scottish accent.
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing.
I really want to be a presenter. Like, I love Ali and I love
Yeah.
Grimmy. And I was going to ask you about interviewing, because obviously you take part in interviews all the time. What interviews do you just love, and what interviews do you think, oh, that was boring?
That's a good question, because
Please don't say
sometimes
this
they
one.
can be boring. I'm kidding. No, you're amazing. You're always amazing. No, honestly, the funnest ones are when you guys give us like splurt questions, like what eggs do you like in the morning? What do you do in the morning? What kind of shower? I love those quick splurty questions, because you catch people off guard, and then they have to be honest, because telling a lie takes a bit of time, unless you're a professional. But I can't tell lies on the dot. It takes me a while, and it's very obvious. But those for me are good. And what's good about doing an interview is that you have an opportunity to like get to know that person, which we love, because we wish we could speak about everything that we do. Sometimes only singing isn't enough. Sometimes it's good to have...
Ooh. Sorry, guys, not entirely sure what that is.
Oh my God, I nearly
Everybody be cool. Everybody be cool.
I nearly just sharted my pants.
Wow.
No, I
That's
did.
an exclusive right there. I think it might just be a microphone. Are we okay? Mr.
I think
Sound
it might be
Engineer, are you
the
still
performing
standing?
microphone. Anyway, let's carry on.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. Slight technical hitch. We okay? Is anybody deafened? No, everybody's cool. Right, let's
That was
continue.
good. And mistakes
That
are
was
always
good.
funny in interviews too.
Yeah, exactly. So you were saying you like a splurty question. That's what you said there.
Splurted questions.
question.
They're always
Those-
good. Spontaneous, being
Yes.
random, doing an interview in like, I don't know, a swimming pool or something. Like things like that. I like things like that.
Yeah. Excellent. Good question. Thank you. Where do we go next? This lady down here in the second row.
Hey. Hi.
I do a fashion blog, which you're featured on quite a lot.
Oh, thank you.
But I was just wondering, like, who's your biggest, like, do you have, like, a style inspiration, like, a style icon that you love? Like,
Yeah. Sorry, what was your name?
Alice.
Alice. Thank you, Alice, for putting me on your blog.
It's okay.
I really appreciate it. For me, clothes are fun, right? That's what the one thing I want everybody to understand. Like when I dress up in the morning, I have a blast. Well, I hate it because it takes forever. But getting dressed is a really good laugh for me because I love clothes and I take it seriously for the designers and I understand what they go through to make the clothes. But I put them on for fun. Like I love dressing up. It's a dress up for me. So to me, without disregarding the efforts of fashion, I don't take it too seriously, you know? And I think people understand that and they're like, yeah, all right, whatever, she wears crazy clothes and whatnot, but she wants to. It's like accepting you for who you are. This is who I was. I was like this before I even had the opportunity to see clothes that I never thought I could ever afford or even buy. And I grew up in the market, Portobello Market, and I would buy t-shirts for like £2 and rip them up and make them. Me and my best friend, Kyle, who is my stylist now, we used to get clothes and make them and sew them and like staple them even because we didn't know how to sew at that point. And we would just do anything we wanted, which was nice of my mum and dad because I was an embarrassment growing up. No, it wasn't really. Well, a little bit. But it all started from people, like being on the market, seeing like tourists walking up and down and looking around, staring, people watching. I know I'm a bit crazy, but I love people watching. I sit in cafes and I like watch people. I'm psycho. No, but so what I'm saying is I get really inspired by people's energy and my faces and reactions and even artwork. I love artwork. I go to art exhibitions all the time. And street art for me is amazing. And I like to learn about things that people wouldn't think I would learn about. You know what I'm saying? Like I like going into different worlds, not becoming egotistical at it, but just being aware of it, you know? So it comes from life, really. And Gwen Stefani.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Over this way.
Hi, Rita.
Hey,
Everyone. My name's Stacey Novelist, and I've just recently been accepted at the British Academy of New Music.
I was there.
Yeah, this is the question. So,
Congratulations.
Well done.
I'm doing my artist development this year, and coming from a hip-hop scene in Glasgow that's just quite cliquey, so I'm trying to sort of detach myself from that, and I'm looking to know what would your advice be to myself or any other female from Scotland looking to break into the music industry. Like, at your artist development, what would you wish you could have done but didn't get to do?
So you want to separate yourself from
the stigma. There's a lot of stigma over the Scottish accent and things like that, so I'm just trying to sort of be unique and be myself. That's something, the only thing I'm good at is being myself, you know. So
yeah, exactly.
But from someone who's been in the artist development, it's dead scary moving to London and
scary.
not knowing what's going to happen. So what's your advice for me doing that?
Well, first of all, like despite the obvious of, you know, everything, of making sure like you live in a safe place and make sure because London's a bit, you know, it's
the college are helping me
you
with
know,
that,
good because you need to make sure that you're good on that because it could be bad and I didn't have that. I didn't have any help. And actually my mum and dad were so mad at me for not finishing college, like they didn't even want to help me. So you're actually in a great position. So, you know, I mean, what I can say is it could be really intimidating at first, but there's nothing wrong with your Scottish accent, by the way.
Thanks very much. You want to collaborate?
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you sing?
I sing and rap. I'm part of Target's notice
Do you rap
board.
in a Scottish accent?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard that before, see?
Do you want to hear it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we need a beat. Wait, hold on.
I be the baddest, the illest, the freshest. What I got here is contagious, almost famous. Story of the novelist, the saint I dream no more. It's my life. Rita Ora on a bad beat, hit it twice.
Yes. That was awesome.
That's what you're going to be fine in London if you just did it just like that on the spot. You don't need me to give you
Yeah,
advice.
you can speak to your man and then we'll just get a full scale thing going, you know.
I'll get my people in touch with your people, then we can all become people.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
That was excellent. Thank you.
Good beatboxing.
Honestly,
I know,
thank you.
good beatboxing is right.
Don't know where that came from. My days on private radio. No, I'm joking. Pirate radio. No, I'm kidding. What I want to also say was congratulations on getting in. I was at the same school she was in for a few months, and it's kind of, this was me when I was at a point where I didn't have anything when I left school and my production deal fell through. I joined that college, and it gets you onto GCSEs, and it kind of brings you back onto A-levels no matter what age or whatever it is. So it's a great school. But you're going to be just fine. Just keep doing it. But also, make sure you're safe. Be safe. Don't let anybody rip you off. Yeah. All right, good.
There's a Glasgow spirit in there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Okay, another question. We'll go up the back here now.
It's been said that Scottish crowds are amongst the best live crowds in the world, so I'm just wondering what you've thought about the ones that you've experienced.
Okay, you're just going to wait because you're echoing
right,
a bit, so just have to slow down. One more time.
It's been said that Scottish crowds are amongst the best in the world, so I'm just wondering what you've thought about the ones you've experienced.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. So I did my last tour in Glasgow. I came here. I'm not even saying it because I'm here. It was so loud that I couldn't hear my ears. Like, now I have these ears because I'm about to perform for you guys in a minute. But when you have these ears, you usually don't hear anything. I couldn't hear myself. You were so loud. And I think it was because I made the drinks free. Some of them were free. It was partially my fault. And, you know, we all know that Scottish people love a drink. So, you know.
In moderation, obviously. Responsible drinking.
You know, responsibly. But, I mean, you know, it's a town of whiskey, isn't it?
Well, a country where it's from, you know.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
I'm being diplomatic here. It's fine.
Do you know what? I'm going to stop with the facts and just go with the advice. The crowd here is awesome. And the festivals here are awesome. When I did Tea in the Park, it was, like, so much fun. And the crowds here honestly just react whenever they want, which is the best thing about it. So, yeah, that fact is true. The crowds in Scotland are incredible.
Yeah, I remember seeing that at Tea in the Park last year, and it was raining.
Yeah, it was.
Nobody bothered.
Nobody was bothered. Aye, no bother.
Nay bother.
Nee bother.
Got the accent down. Another question over here.
Hi. Just give you my other ear. Oh. I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, it was just that it's not really anything to do with your music, but how amazing was it to rip Zac Efron's shirt off? And was it pre-planned?
I know everyone's asking me. It was 100% not pre-planned. I know it looked like it was perfect because his buttons were perfect. They weren't buttons, you know, they were the push-on ones. But it wasn't. And I spied his buttons when he was walking up to get his award, and I said, what are you going to say for winning Best Shirtless? Like, you might as well just take your shirt off. And I saw him struggling because he didn't know what to say, so I just ripped his shirt off, and it just went everywhere. And I'm really happy I did it because it was a great shirtless bod, and I was really proud of that moment. Good. And he then turned around and said to me, thank you so much, you saved me, because I had no idea what to say for winning Best Shirtless. I'm like, what are you going to do, thank your gym instructor? Thank your kitchen for not putting fatty foods in the fridge? You know, it was like, no, take your shirt off. No, but that's a good question. Yeah, and it was good fun too. It was good fun.
And also, is there anyone you get like starstruck by when you meet them?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Except for Grimmy, obviously.
Oh no, Grimmy just flusters me all the way out. No, Richard Branson was a bit starstruck. I think I was. I mean, he has done some incredible things for people, and he's one. And also, meeting my idol Beyonce was just probably the most surreal. I just wanted to ask her so many questions, and I was literally exactly like this. I sat there, listened to everything she said, and honestly, I took it in, and then I would ask her as many questions as I possibly could, and if I couldn't ask her a question, I would always just say to myself, what would Beyonce do? Like, if you want to eat this fish and chips, what would Beyonce do? If you want to go out and dance with somebody that, you know, you're not meant to be with, and then you get pictured, and then it's not right, what would Beyonce do? Everything, what would Beyonce do? So I'm telling you, it works, guys. Trust me.
It's a good mantra.
Yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, I'm just so honored that I met my idols, you know? Never forget. Sometimes you don't want to meet them because you don't want to know what they're really like. But I knew she'd be nice. She looks nice, doesn't she? You know.
Where do we go next? Right over here. Let's go to this side here. Hello.
Hi, what's going on, Rita? I'm Mark. I'm an artist myself, and I'm just wanting to ask you, see when you were signed to Rock Nation, how long was the development process before you actually got to do something? Because I know you featured on DJ Fresh's song Hot Right Now, and that obviously helped you launch out. So do you think that's important to get onto a feature, or should you just do it yourself? Could you let me know your process, please?
I mean, I'm always up for doing a feature. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but you shouldn't go out seeking for a feature to be on someone else's record. I mean, if you have the record and you think it's your record, that is you, and people are going to say, yeah, sorry, what was your name?
Yeah, my name is Mark.
Mark. I'm going to say, yeah, that's Mark on the radio. You know, that's when you put out your own track. But I mean, if a feature comes along, like with a DJ Fresh track, I was hearing the beat in the studio, and DJ Fresh heard about me through a manager or something. And honestly, the industry is so small. Once you have a manager, once you have this, once you have that, your name just starts kind of walking around because you're the new meat on the block. Every time there's going to be a new person on the block. You know, it's just about being consistent. And that's how the DJ Fresh track happened. They were like, who's this Rita girl, you know, what's her deal, blah, 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 blah. And it's about getting people, like, anxious. You want to make your competition worry about you before you come out. You know, that's the trick, because then they're like, who is this girl? Like, who is Mark? You know? So
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I know it's really difficult for new artists to get out there and stuff like that. So, see when you come to Glasgow, could I open for you by any chance? I'd love to sing for you. I'm genuinely being serious. I'm an R&B
By the way,
artist.
I've done that before. I had no open act on Twitter, and I said, on a show, I said, anybody in this city, I can't remember, I don't think it was Glasgow, I think it was a city, it was on my UK leg, and I said, anybody who wants to do an open act for me, because my open act didn't arrive, and I was like, send a video onto my Twitter, so everybody started sending me their videos, and we had an open act open for me for 20 minutes.
That's amazing.
That's what's up. Can I sing for you real quick? Because I really want you to hear my voice, because I really want to jump on with you, man. I'd love this opportunity.
Would you want to?
I'd love to.
I mean, unless they wouldn't mind, because there might be loads of questions, but then I would love you to sing if
we
you
keep it super quick.
I'll do a real quick section. This is my song called Showstopper. I wrote this. It's basically about someone being proud of your other half, okay? I'll sing the hook for you real quick. You're rocking all size over time, skin tight jeans, you know you're working. You're the finest thing I've seen. Red hot lips teasing with your fingertips. Baby girl, you work it. My baby's a showstopper. Nobody out here can touch her. My baby's a showstopper.
You better sing.
And she's all mine, mine.
Woo!
Thank you.
Woo! Amazing. Thanks, Mark.
You've got a little sex to your songs then, I guess. I guess you're a fan of intimacy.
I love it all, man. I listen to all the greats, and I write and produce myself. So.
One thing I would love to say is we as singers always because we listen to, I would say, American music so much, we tend to forget our accents. And I've learned this technically through recording millions of songs. Like I said, the first album I recorded, I scrapped the whole album because everyone was like, where are you from? You know, and I know we forget because that's not where what we are, but because we're so surrounded and our idols are like, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, what I can say to you is, your accent's great. Try and keep it in your music, because it's the easiest way to distinctive, it'll make it distinctive even if it's a tiny bit. I'm even learning that right now. Sometimes I stop myself in the studio, I'm like, why am I saying candy when I say candy? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know it sometimes doesn't flow musically, but that for me was a big, big task, because I'm from London. So if you go to America, they have American singers over there. It's such a weird thing, what I'm saying, but accents and being proud, being where you're from really helps people. It's weird, I know, I don't understand it either, but it helps. But you have an amazing voice.
Thank you, Rita.
Of course.
That's a good insight. I like that. We've got time for a couple more questions. We'll go over to the other side here.
You guys aren't as deadly as I heard. I got told by all of you, by the crew, that you guys were like lethal. I'm joking.
Hi.
Hi.
At first, just excuse me for my accent.
It's okay.
Little French.
French?
Yeah.
Ça va?
Ça va et vous?
I don't know anything else.
I was out in my depth there too.
I can speak in Albanian if you want. Are you mirë?
Oh yeah, now we can talk. Mir. But everybody needs to understand what we're saying.
I just want to know, will you make a show in Kosovo soon? Because I really want to see you there. If you...
Oh, yeah. Well, I've always planned to go back to Kosovo and do it properly and do a massive concert. But I've just recently became ambassador of Kosovo as one of the ladies, which I was so honored by, which in the beginning I didn't even know what it meant. Because, you know, I didn't, but then I learned about it, and it was a massive, massive honor to be part of a country and kind of your own country and do ambassadory stuff. And I was like, this is really cool. I could get used to this. No, but, so what I wanted to do was, I'm working with UNICEF to create a massive compound of music talent and art and dance, and because I know we don't have that back there. And there's a bunch of talented people, and there's so, in every country, I'm not just talking about mine, and sometimes they don't get the opportunity to just at least train in what they love to do, you know? So it was, what my aim is to do, I'm in the make of it, it's gonna take time, is building a compound of a world which basically is creative, and doing a festival every year and inviting my talented friends to come over, and we do a music festival, which we don't have there. But this is me speaking now, but it's gonna take a few years for it to happen properly, but that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Round of applause for that. We'll go with a question up the back here.
This one's just out of interest.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
See, that's a good interview question. Things like that. Yeah. I've always said this, I'd love to either be invisible or fly. But I think invisible wins, only because I like to see what people do when they pretend like they're doing something else. Like, I would love to see what, like, they really get up to. I'm a big believer, I'm a big, like, fan of, like, sneaking up on people. So being invisible for me is, like, the one. I would love that.
Interesting. Over here.
Being an artist, how has like your relationship between family and friends changed, or has it changed?
That's an amazing question, because it has. One thing I can say is it's crazy, because people are going to come up to you, you know, I mean, your family is your family, so they're always going to be there. But even sometimes, you know, your cousins or your you never even know who's going to flip on you. And unfortunately, I've had a few that have completely, I don't even recognize them really anymore. And it's a bit sad, but it's not you. Because people are going to come up to you and say, oh, Rita's changed, or, you know, oh, she's changed, or he's changed. But we're supposed to change. We're growing up. You are not the same as you were last year, are you? You know, you're changing. Everyone changes. So I didn't get into this to stay the same. You don't get into a career to stay the same, do you? You get into a career to change yourself for the better, to succeed, to make something of yourself. You won't change as a person, your opinions won't change, and your respect to people shouldn't ever change, but you should accept the fact that I am going to change because I deserve to, because I'm working my bloody arse off. And your family should support you and respect you for that. And it's not your job to convince friends that start acting weird around you that you're the same, because they should know that. And you start to see the realness in people, and the ones that stick around, that have stayed with you from the beginning to the end, are the ones that were supposed to be your friends in the beginning. I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but it's really tough, because it's a massive wake-up call, you know? But you, as yourself, you should never worry about that. You worry about your shows, your albums, and I know it's a bit selfish, but everyone deserves to be selfish for themselves, just to at least get their feet on the ground and make sure you support the team that was with you from the beginning. Like your mum. Like, I'm homeless right now because I just bought my mum and dad a house. So I'm living in my sister's garage. Like, I'm not even joking. There's not even any windows. But I don't care, because I'm not even at home anyway. But it's things like that. It's like priorities, and but it could be pretty scary. People do start kind of acting weird around you. It starts, but you don't notice it. You start noticing it when you're one-on-one with that person. And they start asking you, can I go to the toilet? And you're like, yeah. Why are you asking me that? You've thrown up in my toilet many times. You know, it's things like that, little things. But it's life, isn't it? You know.
Time for one last question. I think we should go right down the front here.
Hey.
This lady here.
Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, when you were starting out, like before you got your deal for releasing an album and everything, and it was just you as a songwriter, how did you get like management, radio DJs to notice you, producers to notice you? Like, because there's so many people doing the same thing, and it's tough. But like, how did you make yourself stand out?
I think it all starts from you, first of all, being ready to sacrifice things. Like, I'm ready to be broke for a while. I'm ready to, you know, have arguments with people because I think I'm making the wrong choice. You've got to, first of all, like, make that decision with yourself, being like, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to do this. And then once you do it, you know, it's the consistency. Like, show up to the studio every single day, even though you're not supposed to. Wake up every single day, go studios. Like that's all you should be doing. Working with people that, like, you don't care, that just make music, finding beats online that, you know, you write on top of, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting things online, taking people's attentions from a bar. Like, I know you might be in a bar with 7 people. I used to perform in a pub of 4 regulars that would never even turn around. They didn't turn around.
I know the feeling.
Joke's on them now.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is it's the consistency of you. You have to just always be seen everywhere. Show your face absolutely everywhere. Oh, it's that girl. It's slowly but surely people will start remembering the face.
Cool.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Excellent. That was a great question. I'm afraid I know there's so many questions and we haven't even touched on.
I'm sorry I couldn't answer all your questions, but they were incredible. And I feel very honored that you guys even listened to me. So thank you for even listening to me and letting me just have a chit-chat with you all. It was an amazing experience. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rita Ora, thank you very much.